In this statistics tutorial using Excel, we're going to learn how to construct a box plot, also known as a box and whisker plot. So as you can see in this Excel spreadsheet, we have our data in columns A and B. Column A, the graduate, we have 1 through 12 for the values for that. Those are really just identifier values for each graduate that was surveyed. So you could actually have somebody's name or some sort of identification number or something like this. This is just labeling them 1 through 12, and then they reported their monthly starting salary. So these values below are the measurements for the variable monthly starting salary, and this is what we want to generate a box plot for. So one of the first things that you would want to do when you're doing a box plot is select the data that we have. So I'm going to highlight all of the data in the column that I want. I did not select the title on this, and that's because I know that it's not going to populate the graphic with the title when I do that. And then in order to start constructing the box plot, you're going to go over here to the Insert tab. And there's a number of different ways that you can get there, but one of the ways is to choose the recommended charts option, which is the very first option on here. And when this comes up, initially it'll show a bunch of different histograms or bar graphs or line graphs. We don't see a box plot in here, so what you can do is click on the tab that says All Charts, and this will give you a list of all of the charts that are available in order to create this graphic. We're going to choose the box and whisker plot, which is a little ways down, almost to the bottom of the menu right there. And then once you have that selected, you'll just go ahead and say OK. And initially that'll generate a box plot right here, which is a representation of the 5-number summary and the data that we have. It identifies that we have an outlier right here, the 6,300 and some change right there, and then all the other values right here. So the minimum value would be just above 5,700. The first quartile is right here where my cursor is. The median is right here in the middle. The third quartile is right here. This line represents the next largest value in the data set that is not an outlier. And then this dot right here represents that we have a data value that's an outlier. Now you may want to edit your chart, and I'm just going to really quickly show you how you can do edits in your chart. If you double click in the chart, it should open up a new chart formatting window right here, and there's all kinds of options that you have to play around with. For example, if you want to change the border, or if you want to, for example, change the fill, you can click in the fill and you can choose a different color fill. The colors are right down below. But most importantly, one of the things that we should do is we should make sure that the chart has a label. This data represented the monthly starting salary, so that's going to be the only thing that I change right now. You can play around with the other options. So if you double click in the chart title, it actually is just like a text box, and you can click in there, remove the term chart title, and then type in the variable name, which is monthly starting salary. Once you get the title typed in, if you want to play around and modify colors or orientation or different things on there, you can play around with that. But this is how we create a box plot using Microsoft Excel.